Why don't you just say that you're on the left? Is this so hard for you? Why can't you just be honest?
Mr.
Seriously,
Shapiro,
it's a serious question.
Mr. Shapiro, if you only knew how ridiculous that statement is, you wouldn't have said it.
Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we're discussing 10 hilarious instances of an American celebrity getting shown up by a British one.
Listen, I'm sure it's embarrassing for both of us, okay? And I blame NBC for this terrible situation. Mel blames, we know who Mel blames.
Noel Gallagher and Taylor Swift.
On to track number 2.
Little did I know that you
Okay, that's enough. Stop it, Ryan. That's Taylor Swift. Do you like Taylor Swift?
No.
As the wealthiest woman making music alive, Swift is about as prolific as an artist can be. She's become involved in a few dramas over the years, including one recently with Noel Gallagher of Oasis. The Brit pop star claimed that only Swift's parents would call her talented.
No, that's not for me. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Additionally, he said no one he knows listens to her. This might be because all his friends are older than Swift's target audience. That doesn't explain why his brother, Liam, thinks Shake It Off is a tune. Maybe the pair still don't get along well enough to discuss favourite pop stars.
Taylor Swift.
Like a billionaire, and she is a billionaire cowboy or something.
Look at the hatred.
John Oliver and Dr. Phil.
The fact of the matter is, we have people dying. 45,000 people a year die from automobile accidents, 480,000 from cigarettes, 360,000 a year from swimming pools, but we don't shut the country down for that.
Despite what his name implies, Phil McGraw is not a licensed clinician. He did earn a doctorate in psychology, but he didn't renew his license, so he may not be the most reliable source for medical advice. British comedian John Oliver pointed this out during the COVID-19 pandemic in response to Phil's outlandish claims.
Oh, thanks, not a medical doctor, Phil. Quick thing there, though. The annual US death toll from swimming pools isn't actually 360,000. They're not killing almost a Cleveland every year.
Phil cited some highly exaggerated figures, including claiming that 360,000 people die in swimming pools annually. According to him, if we don't shut down all swimming pools, they shouldn't shut down the country for COVID. Oliver pointed out that this was about 100 times the real figure. It's hard to deny that John Oliver made Dr. Phil look like a fool.
Also, if swimming pools were killing 360,000 people a year, and you could contract a swimming pool on a trip to the grocery store, we might want to think about shutting them down.
David Frost and Richard Nixon.
I let down my friends. I let down the country. I let down our system of government and the dreams of all those young people that ought to get into government but will think it's all too corrupt and the rest.
Former President Nixon is famous for resigning after the infamous Watergate scandal in 1974. He then began avoiding the public until 1977, when he decided to be interviewed, hoping to improve his image. David Frost was chosen, whom Nixon's team believed was a pushover.
I'm sorry. I just hope I haven't let you down. Well, when I said I just hope I haven't let you down, that said it all. I had.
Nixon hoped this would make it easy for him, but that wasn't the case. Frost pulled no punches, with Nixon fumbling almost all of his responses. After its broadcast, one poll found 69% of people thought he was still trying to cover up his crimes. The only thing Nixon really got out of it was a decent sum of money, but his reputation was not so lucky.
Most of all, I let down an opportunity that I would have had for 2.5 more years to proceed on great projects and programs for building a lasting peace.
Piers Morgan and Alex Jones.
Listen, do you know what...
Do you have a bodyguard?
Alex.
Why do you have bodyguards?
I don't have a bodyguard.
Yeah, I've seen you on the news with them. Don't you want to protect your wife from hoodlums, or you want to call the police?
You would expect Morgan and Jones to get along, given that they're both pretty conservative individuals. Well, Jones clashed with Morgan so hard in 2013 that he created a petition seeking to have him deported. This is because they disagreed on the topic of gun control. Morgan argued in favour of stricter laws on guns, which is what we have in the UK.
People.
Let me say something.
There's no metal shark in the water.
The same type of weapon was used in the last three
and that's right.
mass shootings.
And Hitler used semi-autos to kill people.
Why would you
and
not?
So did Mao.
Why would you?
Why is the government arming to the teeth against us?
Alex, I don't.
What about Fast and Furious?
Alex.
Jones considered this an attack on the Second Amendment, which he took personally. He threatened Morgan by saying his beliefs would lead to another American Revolution. Usually people find Morgan to be the most irritating person in a room, but when he was up against Jones, he surprisingly seemed reasonable.
Who do you believe was behind 9/11?
Oh, I absolutely know. I have the police on CNN saying, get back, they're going to blow up 7. I have BBC reporting.
Who do you believe was behind
I have the proof. I heard them on CBS radio.
Jimmy Carr and Christi Chiello.
I was going to talk about Christie's career, but it's like trying to punch fog. There's nothing there.
Whether you love or loathe the comedian Jimmy Carr, everyone agrees that he can take a roast as well as he can give one out. Here we have an example of him tearing an American to shreds with little retaliation.
There are ISIS sleeper cells with higher profiles. I looked it up on the internet and Google said, me either.
Her name was Christi Chiello, and this was her first ever TV appearance. It arguably couldn't have gone worse.
Jimmy is so desperate to be accepted by America that he rebelled against paying his taxes.
Carr's roasts are pretty savage, but feel more brutal when you hear Chiello's awful responses. For example, she starts trying to slam him for tax evasion, all while doing a bizarre child voice. And little does she know, Carr frequently makes fun of himself for that.
If there is one American Jimmy reminds me of, it's Donald Trump. Because they both are convicted criminals and their fans should know better. I got it out.
Gordon Ramsay and Bobby Flay.
For the last 5 years, we've been trying to do this cook-off together in Vegas for charity.
Yeah.
And he won't sign the contract. Now, Bobby, sign the contract, you limp.
Celebrity chef Ramsay has probably made thousands from insulting Americans, usually on his series Kitchen Nightmares. Since about 2013, he's been throwing shade towards American celebrity chef Bobby Flay. They've come close to having cook-offs with each other a few times, but so far nothing's happened. Every few months it'll heat up again with Ramsay insulting Flay.
Rank the following celebrity chefs from best to worst. Wolfgang Puck, Bobby Flay,
come on,
and Jamie Oliver.
Oh, come on.
Recently, the Scottish chef made an Instagram post talking about all the things he was thankful for. It concluded with a picture of Flay, ruthlessly captioned, "Not him." A lot of people think it's a bit of a friendly, joking rivalry, but we're pretty confident Ramsay would show Flay up in a cook-off.
Best, Wolfgang Puck.
Okay.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Number 2, Jamie Oliver. And on the bottom, Bobby Flay.
Brian Cox and Joaquin Phoenix.
Thank you, everybody, for everything. And, we just want to, we thank HBO who've really taken care of us.
Brian Cox is one of Britain's most celebrated actors, with a ton of awards under his belt. It must be pretty scathing, then, if he comes out and slanders your acting ability. This happened to Joaquin Phoenix, another celebrated actor who played the lead in Ridley Scott's Napoleon.
300,000 souls live in the city. And they've all just left?
Cox threw shade towards him in a live talk in 2024, hilariously saying he'd have been a better casting choice.
Who did this? They did. No, they did not. Be sensible. Who set these fires?
Cox was also critical of the film's lack of historical accuracy. Scott got so upset about people mentioning this that he told them to get a life. It's doubtful Cox would have been the perfect choice for Napoleon though, mainly because he's almost 2 decades older than Napoleon was when he died.
Josephine. Fortune has abandoned me. I know that it is what fate has for me. Your words rattle in my head. I am nothing without you.
Andrew Neil and Ben Shapiro.
Honestly, this is a giant waste of time in the sense that the entire interview is designed for you to shout slogans or old things that I've said at me. I don't see how this forwards the debate. You talk about undermining the public discourse.
Our next entry is another clash between conservatives. This time it's between Neil and Shapiro. Things got so heated that Shapiro started calling Neil a lefty and then stormed off. It quickly became viral online, with everyone poking fun at Shapiro's breakdown.
Well, okay, a couple of things. One, I'm not sure, I mean, frankly, I don't know whether are you an objective journalist or are you an opinion journalist?
I'm a journalist that asks questions.
It becomes even funnier when you realise this wasn't even a debate. It was a simple interview. Shapiro seemed to mistake him asking simple questions for antagonism. After Shapiro had cooled down, he apologised for his outburst, admitting he'd gone in unprepared and had no clue what Neil's background was.
You know, I'm not inclined to continue an interview with a person as badly motivated as you as an interviewer, so I think we're done here. I appreciate your time, sir.
All right,
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time and for showing that anger is not part of American political discourse now.
Ricky Gervais and Mel Gibson.
Honestly, I like a drink as much as the next man. Unless the next man is Mel Gibson.
English comedian Ricky Gervais prides himself on his savage sense of humour. He rarely holds back, as proven by the handful of Golden Globes he's famously hosted. One person he roasted almost every appearance was actor Mel Gibson.
Listen, I still feel a bit bad for it, right? Mel's forgotten all about it, apparently. That's what drinking does.
For those unaware, Gibson was extremely controversial back in the 2000s, even becoming blacklisted in Hollywood. Most of Gervais's jokes were making fun of Gibson for his infamous anti-Semitic outbursts.
Yeah. I love seeing Ricky once every 3 years because it reminds me to get a colonoscopy.
This eventually culminated in a super awkward interaction at the 2016 show, where Gervais had to introduce him, leading to the pair hugging on stage. Gibson tried to one-up him, but Gervais got the last laugh, pulling out a joke so risky it had to be censored.
Well, if you'd left your drink here, you don't need to leave your drink here. I'll put you to sleep another way, son of a bitch.
Listen.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Sacha Baron Cohen and Dick Cheney.
These are people making comments about me.
Yeah. Stilton Keys, say hello for my lad. Say hello to Stilton Keys.
Hello to Stilton Keys. I'm just delighted to have an opportunity to share a few moments with our friends.
For years, Cheney was a major player in American politics. He served as the vice president under George Bush during the 2000s. Cohen, on the other hand, is prolific in mocking politicians. In his series, Who is America?, he managed to land an interview with Cheney.
Avocado Wabo, say, I'm Iranian. Thank you for getting rid of 1 million Iraqis. Those guys are the worst. Thank you, Dick.
Thank you.
This became one of his most hilarious interviews ever. Statements were sent in by fans, which started tame. As it progressed, they became increasingly unhinged, to the point where Cheney was at a loss for words. Other politicians previously targeted by Cohen include Rudy Giuliani, Bernie Sanders, and Donald Trump. But we found the Cheney interview was his most savage.
Wiglet 91, say, I'm Mr. Cheney. I was imprisoned in Abu Ghraib for 8 months without charge, and during that time was waterboarded. I don't understand why people say it bad. It totally fixed my eczema. So huge thanks. What's your message to him?
I'd never heard it would fix your eczema.
Were there any especially scathing examples you think deserved a mention? Let us know in the comments below.